Standard 10 students. I hope you all are fine and in high spirits and all are ready to learn new topic from the textbook of mathematics. We are going to begin with chapter number 13, surface areas and volumes. So surface area of an object refers to the total area of all its surfaces. For example, the amount of paper required to wrap a gift gives us an idea of the surface area of the gift. When we talk about volume, volume of a solid object refers to the amount of space it occupies or contains. For example, the amount of water a swimming pool can hold gives us an idea of the volume of the swimming pool. Dear children, in standard 9th, we have learned about different solid figures like cube, sphere, cuboid, cylinder and cone. We have also learned about finding the surface area and volumes of these solid figures. The new solid figure which we are going to learn in standard 10th is frustum. We will be also learning to find out the surface area and volume of frustum. Now the new thing which you are going to learn in standard 10th is recombination of solids. What all solid figures you have learned, the combination of these solid figures and finding the surface area and volumes of the recombination of the solid figures is the new thing we are going to learn in standard 10. You can see some of the figures there on the screen. If you take an example of ice cream, the bottom of the ice cream is conical in shape and at the top it's a hemisphere. So ice cream is a combination of a cone and a hemisphere. That's nothing but recombination of two solid objects. At the same time, if you see tent, it is cone at the top and cylinder at the bottom. Then capsule, at the center it's cylinder and towards the two ends it is hemisphere. Then a dancing doll, at the top it is cone, at the bottom it is hemisphere. Then you can see this glass which is conical at the top, at the center this is cylinder and at the bottom this is a circular shape. Then you must have seen a truck with container featured on its back carrying oil or water from one place to another. Is it in the shape of any of the four basic solids mentioned in the previous slide? Yes, definitely you can make out. At the center it's cylinder, towards the two end it is capsule, and this way you can find out like what kind of combination the figure has. So to begin with the topic, I want all of you to just quickly revise the formulas which we have learned last year. So here is the first solid figure, that's cube. All 6 faces of the cube have the same area. We have taken A as the edge of the cube. Therefore, the area of each face of the cube is equal to A square. And so we get the formula surface area of cube is equal to 6 into A square. When we talk about lateral surface area, it is the area of the 4 walls. The top and the bottom of the solid figure is not included into lateral surface area. So lateral surface area of a cube is equal to 4 into A square. And volume of cube of edge A is equal to A cube. So the 3 formulas which you have to learn and keep in mind. You can also see some of the pictures which we see in our day-to-day life, which is cubical in shape. Let's move to the next solid figure. The next solid figure is a cuboid. You can see the figure of cuboid there on the screen. L is length of the cuboid, B is breadth, and H is There are 6 faces again, and every face is rectangular in shape. So area of the top and bottom of a cuboid, that's equal to 2 in the bracket L into B. Then area of the front and the back, that's again equal to 2 in the bracket H into B. Then area of left and right side, which is shown by green color, that's equal to 2 in the bracket H into L. So if I combine all the 3 areas, I'll get surface area of cuboid. So surface area of cuboid is equal to area of the top and bottom plus area of front and back plus area of left and right side of the cuboid. And by adding it, I get 2 in the bracket LB plus BH plus HL, and that's the surface area of the cuboid. Then the lateral surface area, as I told you that when you calculate lateral surface area, the top and the bottom face is not included. So lateral surface area is nothing but the area of the remaining 4 walls of the cuboid. That's equal to 2 in the bracket BH plus HL. There is one more method to find out lateral surface area of a cuboid, and that is the total surface area of a cuboid minus area of top and the base. So this way also you can calculate, and lateral surface area will be equal to 2 in the bracket BH plus HL. Then comes the volume of a cuboid. So volume of a cuboid is equal to L into B into H. So again 3 formulas you have to keep in mind. Let's move towards the next solid figure, and that's right circular cylinder. Now why it is called as right circular cylinder? It's because the radius of the base of the cylinder is at right angle to the height of the cylinder, and that's the reason it is called as the right circular cylinder. Now if you just see there on the screen, children, if I separate out the top and the bottom and the middle part of the cylinder, what I get is the top is the lead of the cylinder, the curved surface area is the middle part of the cylinder, and the bottom is again the base of the cylinder. The lid is circular in shape, curved surface area is rectangular in shape, and the base is again circular in shape. So if I find out area of these 3 parts, the total of these 3 areas will give me the surface area of the cylinder. So area of lid, which is circular in shape, that's pi r square. Curved surface area, when I open it, it is rectangular in shape, and the area of rectangle is L into B. And if I open the curved surface area, length is 2 pi r, and the breadth is the height of the cylinder, that's H. So curved surface area, or the area of the middle part of the cylinder, is 2 pi r h, and the area of the base is circular, and that's pi r square. Now if you combine these 3 areas, we get total surface area of a cylinder, that is equal to curved surface area plus area of lid plus area of base, that's 2 pi r h plus pi r square plus pi r square. So what we get? 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r square. We can take 2 pi r common, so that's equal to 2 pi r in the bracket r plus h, and that is the total surface area of the cylinder. Then comes lateral surface area. As I said, in lateral surface area, we do not consider the top and the bottom. Therefore, lateral surface area of a cylinder is equal to 2 pi r h, that's the curved surface area. And volume of cylinder is given by the formula pi r square h. So again, 3 formulas you have to keep in mind. The next is the surface area and volume of a cone. Now on the screen you can see a cone is drawn, and this is the base of the cone, this is the height of the cone, and this part is called as slant height of the cone. Now suppose, if I separate the bottom and the top of the cone, at the bottom I get a circular part, and suppose if I open the part which is at the top, I get the shape something like this. So when I have to find out total surface area of a cone, I have to add the area of the circle and area of this particular part of the cone. So total surface area of cone is equal to pi r square, that is the area of the circle, plus pi rl, that's the area of this part that's called as the sector of a circle. And we will be learning this little later, but just keep in mind it's the sector of a circle and its formula is pi rl. So total surface area of a cone is equal to pi r square plus pi rl. Then lateral surface area of the cone, I told you that when we calculate lateral surface area, now in this case we will not consider the base, and so what is remaining? It's pi rl. And volume of a cone is given by the formula 1 by 3 pi r square h. So again, three formulas you have to keep in mind. Certain things which are conical in shape in our day-to-day life, it is also flashing there on the screen. You can have a look at that. Moving to next, total surface area and volume of a sphere. Now the figure is drawn there on the slide. C is the center of the sphere and R is the radius of the sphere. Surface area of the sphere is given by the formula 4 pi r square, and volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now suppose if I cut the sphere from the center with a plane, it is separated into two parts. Each part is called as a hemisphere. So the surface area and volume of a hemisphere. You can see there in the figure that this part is circular in shape, its area is pi r square, and the hemisphere, the upper part, that's 2 pi r square, because we know that surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r square, and half of that is 2 pi r square, that's this part. So if we combine this part and the circular part, we get total surface area of hemisphere, and that is equal to 3 pi r square. Then comes volume of a hemisphere, and that is again, volume of a hemisphere is half of the volume of the sphere, and so it comes equal to 2 by 3 pi r cube. Some of the things which you observe in your day-to-day life, which is spherical in shape, which is hemisphere in shape, is also flashing there on the slide. You can have a look at that. Then comes the new solid figure which I was talking about at the beginning. That's total surface area of frustum of a cone. Now what is this frustum? Children, suppose if a plane parallel to the base of the cone passes through a cone, then it divides the cone into two parts. This part of the cone is called as frustum. So this figure is frustum, which is nothing but when a plane parallel to the base of the cone, when it cuts the cone into two parts, the lower part of the cone is a frustum. We can see so many objects in our day-to-day life which are in the shape of frustum. A bucket is a frustum. Then a glass is also a frustum. Then the cone which is placed on the road is the street cone. We call that as a street cone. That is also in the shape of a frustum. So here is a figure of a frustum. there are two circular regions at the top and at the bottom. Let R1 be the radius of the circle at the top and R2 is radius of the circle at the bottom. H is the height of the frustum and L is the slant height of the frustum. So the curved surface area of the frustum is given by the formula pi L in the bracket R1 plus R2. L is the slant height of the frustum. Then total surface area of the frustum is this curved surface area plus area of the top plus area of the bottom, and if we add all these three, what we get is pi L in the bracket R1 plus R2 plus pi R1 square plus pi R2 square. Then comes the volume of the frustum, and the volume of the frustum is given by the formula 1 by 3 pi h in the bracket R1 square plus R2 square plus R1 R2. So all the three formulas are not very easy. You have to learn it, you have to by heart it, you have to keep this in mind. We have not calculated the slant height of the frustum here. That we will do when we will solve the numericals based on frustum. So time being, you have to just keep the formulas in mind, the shape in mind, and every particular of the shape in mind. So with this, we will stop for today. Your homework is you have to learn all the formulas. Do one thing, children, you make a chart, and on the chart all the surface areas of solid figures, and at the same time the other side you can write formulas of volume of the solid figures. Put the chart on your table, and every day you read the formulas and learn it. So see you all in the next tutorial of mathematics. Till then, bye bye.